Hey kids, today been getting a lot of questions on the one of my most popular videos on the YouTubes was my mobile mechanic ad, or as far as what my tool chest is and toolbox tour or something. I don't know why people get boners over toolbox tours. I really don't get it. Um, Mine's a chaotic mess. It works for me personally. Everybody's works different. Some people are ultra meticulous of how they do things. I'm not a tool snob. I don't do any buying tools off of tool trucks or anything like that. I buy my tools as needed wherever gets them. Questions were a lot of questions I get, private messages and things of that nature, or direct messages, whatever. I get them on the Instagram and I get them on the YouTube. Mostly the YouTube, actually. How do you get started? What's a good way to get started? Um, and I've covered this in other videos, I think. So most of them I don't post. I make a lot of videos. They never make it to YouTube. The number one thing is I started my business on Craigslist. Okay. This is a summary of the basic ad. I have not run an ad in a couple years, but I started trying to redo my thing. Um, this was the only graphic. Please don't be freaking spamming those numbers and emails because those are there. Um, Simple, clean. This window, this wrench was, my wife took that photograph for me, and back, I don't know, 2008 maybe, on the back window of my the Skittle, my old car. That's the little lime green, snot green car that's in some of my early videos. Anyway, 50% shop rates. Look up what the shop rate is, and I tell people right here. Boom, boom. Shoot, why did I just go away from this window? Well, that was stupid. But Repair Pal works really good. Let me see if I can't. Oh, it didn't. It saved it. Okay. Um, Phone advice, always free. You want to? My name is who my name is. Da 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 da. Where I'm at. I work out of here or come to you. This was my ad, and I've made very little changes to this ad in the last 9 years or so. I've used Craigslist. I was actually doing this work for before Craigslist existed. Did it up in New York, or I mean Detroit, New York. Jesus. Um, I go locally in town, $10. Work in any condition. I charge a lot more for working in the rain. I do not fuck around with rain. I hate it. You don't do a good job. It is really hard to work and do your best work. Yes, I can do brake pads in the rain, no problem. But you want me to do your timing belt? I don't think so. Just not practice. It's not smart. Um, I put on there, I cannot beat a $20 Jiffy Lube oil change. You can't beat that. Period. Accept all major credit cards. The Square Reader. It's basically fucking free. Take it, get it, use it. I punch in the manual, punch in all my numbers. However, you can get the little reader scanner thing if you want to keep track of that and just plug it in your phone. It will work. I've been using that for many years. Um, and I go into, what I can do in my opinion. Take your car to a professional shop and get a correct diagnosis before you even call me. You can save us both a lot of time. Now, I can usually figure out your problem, and I'm better at diagnosing than I used to be, but I am not a master diagnostician person. There are people who out there are way fucking better than me. They are good, okay? You want to see a really good guy? Watch South Main Auto Repairs channel on YouTube. That guy is meticulous. He's very precise with what he's doing. He proves the fault. A lot of times, I almost never guess wrong. If I guess on a part, I'm usually right. Every now and then that still bites me in the ass, but that's another thing. I do a simple list of things that I basically handle, and I offer a lifetime labor guarantee. This really makes people feel good when they're your first time person. If any part I install fails for the remainder of the time you own the car, I will do all that labor for free to fix again. This means cost of the new part is most likely on the owner, unless it was my fault that it's bad. I damaged your radiator installing it, and it really starts leaking because I gashed it in or something. That was my fucking fault. I got to cover that. But this encourages me to do it right the first time. Good mechanics are lazy and don't want to do the same job twice. This is very factual. And I go, just say, hey, I'll go anywhere, work parking lots, wherever, things I don't handle. I don't rebuild your automatic transmission. Don't have the stuff to do it. Telling people, AC recharge kits sold at AutoZone almost never work for more than a week or two. So don't waste your time and money. There it is. Undiagnosed engine chassis electrical. Sometimes you got a whole bunch of freaking electrical problems going on in your car. I don't want to dick with it. Not worth my thing. Alignments, I can usually get it pretty good. Not perfect. I don't really do body work, painting, rim repair. You get people wanting to fix. Can you bend my rim back? No, I can't bend your rim back. So that's my basic ad. Use that for many, many years. No problems. And I haven't advertised in a couple years now. Every now and then I'll get slow and I'll throw an ad up for a little bit, and that's maybe every 6 months, just because I'm having a slow week or two and I need some extra thing. How much money do I get per ad? Every time, which is a little weird way of phrasing that, every time I put my ad up, I get an average of around about, and I've said this before, $100. $100. If I put my ad up tomorrow morning, I may or may not get a call. But on average, if I put it up in the morning, that one ad will result in me making about another $100 in my life. If I put it up an ad in the morning and one in the afternoon, I will probably make $200. Now, this is not to say you should spam the Craigslist thing with tons and tons of ads. Don't be that asshole. There are people who do that, and most of the guys do that shit. It annoys me. I don't bother flagging them. I really don't give a fuck. I'm not in the competition with those yahoos. There are more people who are more successful than me that do this. There are people who are higher skill level. There are people with lower skill level. When I started out, I was probably working out of my little Geo Storm. You don't need a big truck. You don't need that. It's nice. Trust me. I felt like a freaking boss when I started to use my pickup truck. That was a huge improvement in my life. But you don't need a truck. You can do it in a car. I've done it out the trunk of my BMW 3 Series, not my X5 that I'm using now. I've used my F100, worked great. But I've also used multiple Isuzu Impulses, Geostorms, Chevy Malibu, whatever. Minivans work fantastic. I love minivans. Ideally, you want a vehicle where you can actually carry your customer to the auto parts store, because that will come in handy. Currently, I use a BMW X5. It's got the V8, so I can tow vehicles with it. Put a hitch on it, and it stores my tools pretty nice. It's clean. I can go into any neighborhood, any upscale neighborhoods, and I don't have to worry about, being that guy in the ugly, ratty-looking vehicle that everybody's all suspicious of, and just, it annoys people and offends people. People get freaking uptight about shit, and you don't want your customers having their neighbors upset at them, whatever. So, that's that part of it, my advice. As far as vehicles, it doesn't really matter. But you can do it out of anything. Get a truck when you can. It really does make a difference. Pickup truck is nice with toolboxes. Utility trucks are really nice. Some guys, they have, Econoline vans, Chevy Express, Savannahs, whatever. They put air compressors in there and all that stuff. Personally, I like the battery tools. We'll get into that in another video, maybe, depending on how these go. Next part of it is when your phone rings, answer your phone. You're going to find out eventually most people who email you are bullshitters. Don't know why, just the way it is. I don't even know if you guys can see me. You might get blown out here. Let me throw some more light on this. Emailers are usually you're never going to get any work from them. Very rarely did I ever get an email from somebody that materialized in actual work. They ask a ton of questions and they never have you do it. They're frequently just shopping the job around. Don't try and lowball or beat anybody else's price. You're not in competition with anybody else. You're in competition for yourself. Do it for yourself and fuck everybody else. Answer your phone though. Now, it used to be text messengers were a bunch of BSers, but in recent years, text messaging has become a serious form of communication, and as such, you probably should be doing, they're serious people. I get people who I've never communicated with them once in a telephone call, only over the phone. So, there's that. But if they call, they're usually serious. And it's all about your ability to sell. If you're good at sales, selling things, you just, how you phrase it, presume you have the job and talk to them as though you are doing the job. You're going to have to watch some sales technique videos and you can really increase the amount that you make. Don't high pressure sell people. Don't try and push them into things that they don't want. I'm hired for the job I'm there for. And you learn over time what demographic and who you can tell is going to be receptive to the concept of pointing out faults. There are people who, you are here to do this job. That's all they want done. They don't want to chit chat. They don't want to talk. They don't want to know about nothing about their cars or nothing. Just do your job, get your money, go on your way. There are other people who want to know every fault, and you're going to upsell them because of this, which say, hey, you're going to have to deal with this, you're going to have to do that. Anybody buys a Honda, any new customer or any old customer who just recently bought a Honda, first thing I tell them, don't do it, you don't have to do it right now, but plan to do your water pump and your timing belt. And I explain to them, I've gotten to buy many Hondas, Civics and Accords especially, where they had bought a car, had it for a few months, didn't do the timing belt, previous owner didn't do the timing belt, broke the timing belt, junk motor, you slap a new timing belt on there, no compression, bent valves, alright, they ain't got the money to fix it, they sell me the car, I put get one of them JDM motors, slap that in there for like $500-600, and I flip the car, make a couple $1,000. I've done this many times. And I tell them that story. I'm like, I get a lot of vehicles that way. And it was because people didn't do the timing belt. Do the timing belt. It's low cost. You can order your parts online, save yourself a lot of money. So, you point out the things that they're going to need to get done. If I'm there doing brakes, I may or may not tell them that, dude, you got an oil leak. Now, if it's really bad, I'm going to say something. But a lot of times, you're not there for that. You're not there to hold their hand through everything. You can spend your whole day explaining all the things that are wrong with their vehicles and do full vehicle inspections. It's going to fucking kill you. You're going to kill your time. If you got the free time to do it, go ahead. More power to you. The name of the game is numbers. So I'll get more into numbers on one of my future videos. Hope somebody learns something here. And yeah. Further back on this, let's see here. I'm not actually going to publish this because we don't care. I'm not really going to post another ad. I got plenty of work as it is. Freaking slow. Look at that beach ball. 15-minute video just about here. Oh my goodness. It'd be faster just to reload a different page. Boom. My account. All right. And right here, older postings, oldest ad, 2008. I also sell these Crown Vic suspensions and make good money. I also sell good used parts, radiators, and whatever, Chevy engines, and whatever I run across. Search. Boom. And my oldest ad that I have on here is July of 2008. So gives you an idea how long I've been around. I've been doing this stuff, and also selling cars and This Mercury Cougar, I almost had to give that damn car away. Nobody would freaking show up and pay for it. Seriously, I was asking like $300 or $500, something like that. It ran and drove, was fine. Nobody would show up there. Everybody thought it was just a bullshit car. It was a good car. We just needed a driveway space. Hope somebody learned something. Peace out, bitches.